Coming to you direct from Silencer Shop Studios, home of the Glass Case of Emotion.
SilencerShop.com, the easiest way to buy silencers online, period.
Stand by for education, enlightenment, enjoyment, and entertainment.
He's not here to talk about your feelings. He's not here to say what you want to hear. He's here to say what needs to be said.
Ladies and gentlemen, and children of all ages, please welcome your host, the pimp hand of America, Professor Paul Markle.
Woo, yay! All right, it's Thursday, and welcome to Thursday's episode of Student of the Gun Radio. And congratulations on your excellent decision-making skills. But Paul, how do you know that I have excellent decision-making skills? Well, you're here listening right now, aren't you? So that at very least bodes well for you. And now I know that there are a few people out there listening who are trying to catch me saying something that I shouldn't say. But Jared, what do we know about that?
There is nothing that you should not say.
Exactly. There are only things that I choose not to say. Because I'm not a spineless, politically correct weenie, puke-faced scumbag like so many people on planet Earth. I am not a politician. I am not trying to lie for your vote. No, I actually say what is real, what is true. I actually tell the emperor that he is naked. And you know what? Sometimes the emperor doesn't want to know that. No, the emperor just wants to be told how nice his clothes are. But every once in a while, you got to tell the emperor he's naked, and he doesn't like that. Every once in a while, the crow needs to sit up on a branch and caw. Yeah. If you don't know what that reference is, you need to catch up on your Student of the Gun. Is that not correct, Jared?
Yes, you do.
That is absolutely correct. So, the summer of love continues, and fear not. You know, Jared, I wrote these show notes 2 days ago, and in 2 days there have been more attacks.
Yep.
Yep.
That's probably how it's going to go for a little while now.
Yeah, well, because the entire European Union is just run by just flaccid, weak, subservient, just oxygen thievery is just rampant on planet Earth. Rampant. We have monsters, third world death cultists that have invaded Europe, and they're making no bones about the fact that they want to take it over and Islamitize it. And what is the response from the so-called leadership of all this mix mash of European countries? Oh, we don't want to offend and tolerance and. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, and I have a really hard time feeling bad for the French. Because, well, let's face it, they've been spineless and cowardly for centuries now. The French Revolution was all of it. It was. I love how people try to equate the French Revolution like the American Revolution. It was nothing like it. It was a fascist revolution. It was a totalitarian revolution. It was, well, I don't like my neighbor, so I'm going to accuse him of speaking out against the revolution, and we're going to go ahead and kill him, and we're going to guillotine all the people who owe me money. We're going to guillotine all my political opponents. Yeah. So please don't tell me about standing with France. We stand with France. I'm going to change my Facebook picture to the French flag colors. Wow. Make sure you put the flag at half-mast in front of your house, too, because that will change things. That will make a difference. That will change the world. We are the world. Aren't we, Jared? We are the world.
We are the world.
We are the world. I listened the other day. That was like the 30th anniversary of the We Are the World concert, where they brought in millions upon millions of dollars and spent it on private jets and luxury hotel rooms, and then they sent $37.50 to buy some rice for Ethiopia.
Oh, and we have to change to green energy while we're flying around on our jets.
Yeah. Cars are bad, and you should carpool and take the bus. I'm going to get on my G6 and fly over to Europe and burn 50,000 pounds of jet fuel while I'm telling you to take the bus.
It's always funny to me that humans, us little measly humans here, well, not us here at Student of the Gun, but humans in the world think that they can control and change nature.
Oh, yeah.
And nature really makes humans its bitches, to be honest with you.
All right. Thank you to our friends at Durcoat. Why? Because, well, they help us to not have ugly guns. That's what they do. And if you want to pick up some Duracoat and refinish your ugly gun, well, you can do it at LauerWeaponry.com. And you can even put an official Student of the Gun gun tat on your gun if you so desire. And if you want to do that, remember, we have a mobile app. We haven't pimped it this week that much, but we do have a mobile app. It costs you nothing, thanks to our friends at Century Arms. And you can call us, and you can listen to the radio, and you can actually direct link to get the Student of the Gun gun tat from the mobile app. Download it to your iPhone or your Android phone. It costs you nothing.
Members, you can even log in there.
That's right. And grad program members can log in from their mobile device using the app. How cool is that? Man, it's like crazy 21st century technology. Brownells at brownells.com. You can buy Duracoat products there if you so desire. And you can buy ammunition and magazines. But I don't want you, listen, don't buy your magazines today. Don't buy your ammunition and your accessories and parts for black rifles and stuff. Don't buy them today. I want you to wait until November 10th and then, in a mad panic, run to your computer with your credit card. And then, after you can't get what you want, you can't find what you think you need, then go to Facebook and post about all these hoarders. These hoarders are hoarding ammo and magazines, and I can't get any now. Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. But while you're at Brownells, go ahead and pick yourself up some Frog Lube. It's green. It's minty fresh. It's a bio-based firearms lubricant that was designed to meet the requirements of the U.S. Army. Department of Defense. No kidding. Century Arms, the sweetest smelling arms maker in the U.S. of A.
I need to put some Frog Lube on my TP9 SA.
SA? You need to clean your TP9 SA.
Yeah. So we went to the range yesterday with our buddy.
I want to talk about that. I'm going to thank my friends at SWAT Fuel for, ladies and gentlemen, please, will you bring your attention to me?
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. I had a good checkup. That's right. I had my 6-month checkup because I'm old now, and because I'm old, I have to do 6-month checkups. Doctor said blood work's good, bad cholesterol is all down, good cholesterol is right where it should be. I'm 6'1", and I'm right in my correct weight range. She didn't even tell me I was clinically obese, Jared.
Holy cow!
Well, I know, it's crazy. So
she must have hurt your feelings the first time, because
no, she never did that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. No, it was the
still have feelings?
The Dirk Hodge doctor that.
Or does the Marine Corps drill feelings out of you?
If they wanted you to have feelings, they would have issued them to you.
There you go.
So very good. But and I do take my SWAT Fuel. I take my multivitamins, and I exercise at least 3 times a week.
And Professor Paul even wrote an entire article about his 2 years of experience.
My journey.
Yeah, his journey.
My journey.
Using SWAT Fuel in his weight loss journey. So.
But if you know what, and people are like, you know what? If you don't want to do it, don't. That's the thing that cracks me up, Jared, is people are so. They're not happy being by themselves in their own misery. You know what I'm saying? Like, well,
oh yeah.
Yeah. I know that I'm soft and out of shape and I can't get up 2 flights of stairs without taking a rest, and taking a nap. But it's not good enough for me to just be in that position. What I want to do is I want to pull everyone down with me.
Yeah. Well, it's easier to criticize other people's success than it is to create your own.
Exactly. So when we make recommendations, we try to encourage. You know what? If you don't want to do it, don't. Don't do it. Sit your ass on the couch and watch TV and play, I don't know, Candy Crush. Do it. I don't care. But what really annoys the crap out of me is that when other people come out and actually encourage you, offer you encouragement, that these C- students out there, these D+ students are like, you know what? If you want to be fat and lazy and weak, be fat, lazy, and weak on your own. Don't try and drag other people down with you. And if somebody, they get up in the morning and they look in the mirror and they say, you know what? This isn't what I meant to be. I can be more than this, and I'm going to try. Instead of telling those people not to try, how about encouraging them? But in our world today, it's easier just not to try. Don't even try.
I want to take a quick moment to congratulate Dave C. He's dropped 40 pounds since he started his journey, and he said that we motivated him to start. And
RTFO, man.
Yeah, starting was the hardest part, and once he got started, he just kept going. And he's got a continue goal. He reached his first goal, but he's got another goal that he wants to reach now, and that's what I want you guys to do. If you get to the point where you reach your first goal, don't stop there. Keep going.
You weren't put on this earth to be average. And the sick, sad thing about today's world is average is the goal. Average isn't the starting place for most humans on planet Earth. Average is the goal. It's like, well, I'm about average, so that's where I want to be, right? No, that's not where you're supposed to be. You weren't put on this earth to be average. There's enough average on this earth. All right, that's my soapbox. But yeah, sometimes it just irks the living crap out of me, Jared. And I talked about this regarding training. People say, in the gun culture, they talk about with their friends or peers, like, oh, I'm thinking about going to this training school. What do you want to do that for? Don't you know how to do it? Ain't that hard. You just got to press the trigger. What are they going to teach you? Derp, derp, derp. I've been shooting since I was my whole life.
I got a dog, and I know how to pull a trigger.
Yeah, I've been shooting my whole life. I can shoot a pop can off a stump with 5 tries. Congratulations. And what does that mean? It means nothing. So that is the C student, the C- D+ student that's trying to drag you down to their world. Don't let them do that. Push them away. Get away from those people. Jared, it's I guess it's the same as the whole like turkeys and eagles and stuff, but it's very, very true. Look at your peer group. Look at the people that you hang out with. Look at the people you talk with. Look at the people you converse with on a regular basis. And do they encourage you to be a C- student? Or do they encourage you to be better?
Yeah.
That's my peer group. I look at my peer group and I say, man, I hope I can meet up to the standards. I try and meet the standard of my peer group. And unfortunately, they'll get comfortable with that. They'll get comfortable with that the lazy peer group, the peer group that says, oh man, why even try? You're not bad. You're pretty good. I mean, pretty good. I love that. I think I'm pretty good. Oh, that's your goal is to be pretty good? Okay. All right. Maybe I just don't understand it. Maybe I don't understand it. But here's what I do understand. I understand that we've got a go team moment for you kids. And Zach, I told Zach I was going to do this on the show, and he's actually pretty excited for me to make it happen. So let's hear from our friends at Filter.
That's why I say, hey man, I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. I travel across the land, searching far and wide. Pokemon to understand the power that's inside.
Gotta wait for it.
All right, we have to acknowledge them. We have to acknowledge who owns Pokemon? Nintendo?
Yeah.
We have to acknowledge Nintendo, and we have to acknowledge that was the official Pokemon theme used with permission. Well, kind of. You know what Zach said? He goes, Dad, you better be careful because they're really serious. I said, well, Zach, as long as we acknowledge them, if we give them their due, then they don't have anything to say. But the story comes to us from MSN.com. Ooh, yuck. I kind of feel dirty going to the MSN site, but that's okay because the story goes like this. Gunman gets shot by Pokemon Go player he tried to rob. Yes. Oh, yes. Dateline, Las Vegas, Nevada. And the story was posted 1 day ago. How lazy, Jared, can I say this? How fargan lazy do you have to be to timestamp your stories with a story by Sally Ho, Associated Press, and the date, the official date on the story is 1 day ago.
It's automatic. Yeah, it's just a setting they have on their site.
That's so. How about an actual? Am I crazy to think that news stories should have the actual date that they were posted, or am I just a crazy person? You just want too much from people, Paul. You expect them to do their job. Dateline, Las Vegas, Nevada. A gunman and his underage driver tried to rob a group of people playing the popular Pokemon Go game, triggering a shootout after one of the players pulled out his own weapon at a Las Vegas park that has become a hotspot for virtual creature hunting. The incident early Monday marked the latest illustration of unintended consequences in everyday life due to the booming popularity of the GPS-powered augmented reality game. Oh, crap. I'm about to give you a quote from a spokeswoman, a LVPD spokeswoman, Las Vegas Metro. Las Vegas police spokeswoman Laura Meltzer said, the shooting left a Pokemon player and the would-be armed robber hospitalized with non-life-threatening injuries. Okay, what do we know right now by that, Jared? That the robber has non-life-threatening injuries. Hey, Pokemon player, you need to put your phone down and get your butt to the range. Quit throwing little red and white balls and pop some caps because your skills apparently are not up to par. Charges are expected against both the suspect and the juvenile who was driving the SUV. Ooh. Shortly after 4 a.m. Wow, these turds are out at 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, it is Vegas. Shortly after 4 a.m., a group of 6 people were at a public park east of downtown playing the popular smartphone game, which send players to catch virtual Pokemon. In case you're one of the 2 people on planet Earth that didn't know that, police said an armed man and the young driver drove up to the group in an SUV and demanded their possessions at gunpoint. One of the Pokemon players, who has a concealed weapons permit, dude, that is so awesome, drew his own pistol, and the 2 sides exchanged gunfire. One person in the Pokemon group was shot once in the stomach and taken to a hospital. Metzer says unclear if the person shot is also the player who pulled his own gun, but the group of local players knew each other. The man believed to be the suspect was also treated in the hospital for a gunshot wound. However, or how he got to the hospital is not clear, but the matching SUV was found there. So they got away. They were able to jump into their SUV and drive to the hospital. Police haven't cited a motive. What? Did I just read that right? Police haven't cited a motive or said if the Pokemon players were targeted.
What?
What now? Police haven't cited a motive. The motive is robbery, or said if the Pokemon players were targeted. Duh. But whatever. This isn't the first time suspects have tried to rob people engrossed in the hugely popular game. 4 teens in St. Louis robbed victims earlier this month after luring them to a specific location using Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is going to be the next Craigslist. You know that, Jared, right? People are going to be robbed and shot and raped and so forth by the Pokemon Go app. So here's the deal, kids. If you're going to go out and Pokemon Go, you might want to go to the range first and brush up on your skills and make sure you're packing heat because the thugs want to rob you. Yes, they do. The thugs want to rob you.
Attention, new listeners. We produced a free training video series called 7 Training Tips That Could Save Your Life. We want you to have access to this life-saving information. Get instant access now at studentofthegun.com. Do you watch Student of the Gun TV, read the blog, and follow us on Facebook? If you answered no to any of those questions, you are wrong, but you can easily fix yourself. Go to studentofthegun.com to find everything SOTG.
Das geht an die Oma des letzten Propheten Mohammed sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ich bin Allah so dankbar, ein Muslim sein zu dürfen. Das geht an die Oma, wir sind die Oma. Check das aus. Bismillah.
Wow, the hogs sounded kind of extra hungry this time, and the goats sounded kind of extra orgasmic, I guess you could say. The goats were having a good time there, you know. Question for you. Does it seem like the European Union is trying to cover up Islamic terror? You're like, no, Paul, that's not true at all. And you're just a crazy guy. You're just a crazy guy. I might be a crazy guy, but I'm also right. And the first story we've got here comes to us from an unlikely source, one that I don't think we've ever used before, but it's soldierfortunemagazine.com, SOFMAG.com. And here we go. And the story is Germany, EU, I guess Germany and the European Union, call for stricter gun laws after Munich killer purchased his illegal weapon on the dark web. Apparently he got it from Darth Vader or Darth Maul, or maybe he got it from the Emperor. I guess there's a Sith web out there. There's there's always two, right? A master and an apprentice. But in the European Union, you can do things illegally on the dark web. And so, well, what does that mean? Well, it means we need new gun control. We got to have more gun control because it's certainly not human beings. We can't control the behavior of humans, and we can't stop these 7th century death cultists and third world monsters from coming into our country and infecting and poisoning it. You know, we can't do that. So what's the solution? More gun control. We need more gun control in Europe because guns we need to make them super extra. We need to put guns on double secret probation. The handgun used by the Munich killer was converted from Slovakia. Okay. Riddle me this, Batman. The German-born Iranian with Iranian citizenship, have we noticed a lot of, death cult representatives in their teens just spreading the religion of peace and love here lately? Oh, that has nothing to do with it, Paul. Yeah, you're right. It's 1,000 isolated incidents that are in no way related to each other. I want to remind you guys of something, and I know that, well, we in the United States of America, we on planet Earth have really short, like ADD squirrel attention spans. But when the Munich shooting, when it was going down, first of all, what do we know? When you have a lone gunman, what do the police do? A, they report that the police and the media always report that there's more than one, or there may be multiple, or police are searching for a second shooter or third shooter or whatever. We get all kinds of false reports of other incidents taking place in the area, and they tell the peasants to hide. The state issues the order for the peasantry to all hide because there's a suspect at large. And have you noticed a pattern? The original reports, and I'm sure most of these have been scrubbed by now, but the original reports coming out of Munich when they knew nothing, but they decided they were going to hypothesize anyway. And even some of you guys in the Student of the Gun audience, you told me, like, Paul, be careful. Don't blame this on a Muslim, because they're reporting that it's a neo-Nazi yelling anti-immigrant slurs. Yes. The initial reports coming out of Munich about a potential suspect was that it was a neo-Nazi yelling anti-immigrant slurs. Of course, that wasn't it at all. Do you remember when the San Bernardino Muslim missionaries decided that in the name of Allah they were going to go murder their co-workers? And the initial reports out of San Bernardino were white males in camouflage clothing. Remember that, Jared? You remember not so long after that when a former grad student went to a university in California and murdered his former professor and then killed himself? And the initial report was white male. But we found out that that wasn't true. So why is it? Riddle me this, Batman. How did Johnny and Janie Jihad, and if you've seen pictures of them, the San Bernardino killers, explain to me how they could have possibly been mistaken for white male adults in camouflage clothing? Well, Paul, they couldn't have been. What does that mean then? It means that somebody just made it up, right? So we've got that. We've got the Munich one. Then we go to another part of Germany, and we have a story from TheGuardian.com. Man with machete kills woman in southern Germany. Police say a 21-year-old Syrian refugee arrested after the attack on a pregnant woman in Reutlingen, which injured 2 other people. The sentence just ends. I'm looking at the website. I start reading, and it just ends. Wow, man. I don't even know. It's amazing to me. Can you see that, Jared?
Yeah.
The sentence just stops in the middle of the sentence.
I think that's like a subheading. Because the picture, they probably just forgot a period.
Yeah, no,
that doesn't
that's
make
not
sense.
a complete sentence.
Yeah, wow.
Wow, but whatever. I mean, it's just professional journalism. It's just TheGuardian.com. And
here, if you go down below the picture, that sentence right there is probably what was supposed to be up there.
There you go. We don't need to speak in complete sentences.
Yeah.
We could just speak in emojis.
Unga.
Dirk, Muhammad Jihad. So you say, well, Paul, why do you bring this up? Because the initial report is a Syrian asylum seeker, who had been involved in previous incidents causing injuries to other people, yet not kicked out of the damn country. You've got a foreign invader who has no business being in your country, gets previously arrested and charged in incidents where other people were injured, and they didn't even kick him out of the damn country. Well, why you just can't kick people out? What are you, some kind of xenophobe? So what is the official police? So what did the spokesman say? The motive was not clear, but there's no indication that the incident was a terrorist attack. Okay, and the blood was not even dry on the pavement yet. I mean, seriously, the blood on the pavement wasn't even dry, and a police spokesman ran to the microphone and said, oh, we have no idea what the motive is, and this is not a terrorist attack. How do you know? How can you say it's not? Have you looked into this guy's background, who he hangs out with, what his affiliations are, where he came from? Was he previously? He came from Afghanistan. Was he previously working with the Taliban or Al-Qaeda or an Al-Qaeda sympathizer? Or how do you know? Well, we don't know anything, but what we know for sure is it's definitely not terrorism, and it has nothing to do with the religion of peace and brotherhood. Right, it was another isolated incident. Yeah, here we go. You're like, Paul, that's just two. I don't know if I believe you. Okay, I'll roll with you on that one. The independent.co.uk. French mother and 3 daughters stabbed in the Alps, but, quote, not attacked because they were scantily clad, prosecutors say. So you remember this? You might remember a French woman and her 3 daughters who were stabbed by a Buddhist monk, Shinto priest, Southern Baptist preacher. No. And if you want to know who the guy was, you got to scroll all the way down, down, into the bottom of the story to get the name, because we don't want to put the name of the attacker in the front. Why would we do that? Well, we don't want to do that because the attacker's name was Mohammed, and he was from Morocco. Now, here's the deal. They ran the French officials ran to the microphones to say, this is not terror and we don't have a motive. The prosecutor also said the attack has no links to religious fundamentalism. Really? Hey, Jared, are you over there? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Which religion on planet Earth encourages their followers to stab and murder the infidel?
I'm going to go with Islam.
Islam, ding, 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 for 100 points. And now, here's the thing. They said, it wasn't because they were scantily dressed. It wasn't because... No, the follow-up story says that the husband and father of the victims apparently scratched his inner thigh in front of the attacker's family. Yes. The follow-up story, which you probably don't know anything about because, well, listen to this. They had no time to investigate this. I mean, it just happened. They're mopping up the blood, and this is the quote from the government official. I wanted to quash the rumor currently doing the rounds because on no account did this man make comments about the fact that the attack was motivated by the victim's dress code. No. So if you look into the follow-up story, which they know, the news media knows that you're not going to look into the follow-up story. No, it wasn't because Mohammed from Morocco was offended by their dress. No, it was because Mohammed from Morocco felt justified in attacking someone's wife and 3 young daughters, sending an 8-year-old girl to the hospital with a punctured lung because he was offended by their father. Oh, you're not supposed to know that. Which death cult on planet Earth makes it okay for you to lash out and stab people because you were offended? I'm pretty sure it's not Christianity. But we have to be afraid of Christians because Christians are always trying to force their beliefs on other people, and we have to stop that. And last but not least, in case you were wondering about the European Union deliberately covering stuff up, remember the grandmother that was beheaded in the middle of the day in London? Do you remember that? Yeah, a woman beheaded with machete. Jared, who is it that likes to pick up machetes? It's them damn Buddhist monks again in their saffron robes and stuff, running around, chopping people up with machetes. Palmyra Silva was decapitated at her home in Edmonton in an indiscriminate rampage before armed police subdued the crazed attacker. An 82-year-old woman was beheaded in her North London suburb garden by a man with a machete. Palmyra Silva, a widow and grandmother described as a sweet lady by one neighbor, was killed outside her home in Edmonton in a random, now they already said it was indiscriminate, and then they said it was random, frenzied assault by a 25-year-old. It doesn't even say man, woman, dog, gorilla, horse. She was assaulted by a 25-year-old, Jared. That's the perp description that we get in the story here.
That tells us a lot.
Yeah. Oh, witnesses said they saw a man, you got to keep reading, wielding a foot-long blade attack a passing vehicle and a cat before roaming into the back gardens to look for a victim. Now, we're like 5 paragraphs into this, and what do we find out about the attacker? Oh, 6, 7, how many? Oh, well, some residents claim that the suspect was a local man who had recently converted to Islam and had been trying to convert his neighbors as well. Detectives were quick to rule out terrorism. Yeah.
Because why?
Because why? This kindly little old lady had her head chopped off by a Muslim missionary in the name of Allah, and her blood wasn't even cold before a police spokesman could get to a microphone and say, whoa, 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 this has nothing to do with the religion of peace and brotherhood. Ah! Now, that's just 4 examples right there. It's only 4 examples, recent examples, where Muslim missionaries went on their own little personal jihads and killed innocent humans. But all the representatives from the state, we have representatives from the state in England, in Germany, and in France, who tripped over themselves to get to a microphone to tell you that it's not that. Why would that be? Could it be because the European Union's immigration policy is a complete and total disaster? Because they've just let in thousands upon thousands, if not millions, of third world monsters whom they know nothing about. They just open the door, let the floodgates flow. There are sections in Paris where white French people, European people, can't even go safely for fear of their lives. The police don't even go there. Germany's the same way. England is the same way. We're not supposed to talk about that, though. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to me in EU, I feel sorry for you because you've been boned. But it is kind of your own damn fault because you've been so weak and so cooperative and so subservient. And you're like, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do, Paul? And I know I've got people who listen, I've got people who report and watch, and they're like, no, Paul, you don't understand. The people in Europe are mad. They're angry. They don't want this. And the eunuch wants his testicles back, but it's not going to happen. This is what happens when you surrender your sovereignty, you surrender your liberty, you surrender your freedom for the promise of equality, for the promise of fairness, for the promise that everything will be all wonderful and roses and no one will have any more than anyone else and we'll all have everything.
What you gonna do when it all comes back to the place that you never wanted it to come back to? And where you gonna roll when the bottom drops out and you got no place to go? Who you gonna trust when trust is a must? You better roll with the rest of us. So pack your bags and all the faith you can, cause it's about ready to hit the fan. Come to the ready. 2012, y'all about the re-election of an antichrist. Come to the ready. You don't believe me, just look deep into the soul of the lion's eyes. Come to the ready.
All right. Yeah, it's Thursday. It's time for Student of the Gun Homeroom, brought to you by Crossbreed Holsters. What? You mean the makers of the Bruce Jenner commemorative? also known as the Super Tuck Deluxe? Yes, yes, indeed. And here's what I'm going to say to you guys today at the Student of the Gun homeroom. Practice what is difficult until it is not so. I know you're like, what? No, I like doing what I'm good at, because when I do what I'm good at, that makes me look like I'm good. I don't like practicing things that I'm not good at, because then I don't, my groups aren't so tight and they don't look good. I know. That's why you have to practice. Practice shouldn't be super happy fun time. Practice should be work. It should be diligent. It should be something that you do because you know that it's right. If you want super happy fun time, go catch Pokemon, okay? If you want to improve your skills, what you have to do is you have to be honest with yourself and say, I'm not really skilled in that area. Now, do you want to be skilled in that area? Yes or no? I don't know. You answer the question for yourself. But it's time to evaluate yourself and say, what am I good at and what am I not good at, and where can I improve? And we don't improve by doing the things that we're good at over and over and over again. You improve by doing that which is difficult until it is not so. I know, kind of a crazy concept, but every once in a while, you turkeys out there in the Student of the Gun audience, you need to be reminded. If you're going to the range and you put the target out at 5 yards, hold the gun in 2 hands, and just slow fire until you have big ragged holes in the target, that's great. Now what else are you going to do? Well, isn't that good enough, Paul? I don't know. Do you want to be good enough, or do you want to be great? And if you want to be great, you know how good people become great? Jared, how do good people become great?
By doing it.
By doing that which is difficult. By evaluating themselves and saying, you know what? I need some improvement in that area. And that is the area that I'm going to focus on. So whether you're lifting things or running or grappling or punching or kicking or shooting stuff, we don't get better by doing what we already can do. We get better by doing what is difficult until it is no longer that way. And that's it. That's your Student of the Gun homeroom. And thank you to our friends at Crossbreed for making that happen. All right, kids, remember, you're supposed to be leaving, if you've got an Apple TV adapter and you've watched the show, great, thank you. Now it's time for you to leave a review. It's brand new, so we need to get some reviews on there. And if you want to watch TV and you want to watch Student of the Gun, but you don't have Apple, you can watch it on Roku, or you can watch it on the Amazon Fire app. And if you don't have any of those things, I really don't know what to tell you. Just, I don't know. Open up your computer or find a picture of Paul and Jared and just stare at it longingly. You got anything for them?
No, that's it. Just leave us an honest review on Apple TV if you have it. If you don't have Apple TV, just leave the honest review on whatever platform you watch Student of the Gun TV.
There you go. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies. It'll piss them off. Until next time, remember, you're a beginner once, but you should indeed be a student for life. Grad program members, talk to you tomorrow.